The following announcement is brought to you by a fan of Scott Hall. Hey yo, survey says one for the good guys. I'm here. I'm talking about Scott Hall, man. One of the absolute greats to ever do it. In my opinion, the greatest wrestler ever to not hold a world title. He didn't need it, man. He was so over. It'd been good to have it, but he didn't need it. He was so over. I remember going back and watching some AWA shows on ESPN. I'm like, wait a minute, that's Scott Hall. That joker was huge, man. Him and Kurt Hennig doing their thing. You looked at him like, man, that's a big dude. That guy's a star. He got something right there. Then you go, you watch a little bit more, found out this guy named Razor Ramon was debuting in the WWF at the time, WWE. He's like, wait a minute, that guy looks familiar. Is that Scott Hall? Nah. Then he comes out, you be like, oh man, Razor Ramon was that guy, man. He was amazing, man. Came out there, had that swag, had everything, man. He was just cool. And he was definitely one of my favorite wrestlers. We gotta talk about the match, man. That ladder match him and HBK had at Mania, man. Changed the business. That ladder match, those two went out there and did their thing. It was a great match. I know what the ladder match has become. When they go back and watch that match, you would see something amazing. And I also remember how crazy it was when the Kid beat Razor Ramon on Monday Night Raw. That was the moment that everybody's like, oh man, Raw is something special. Raw is something that we have to watch every single week, and we don't know what's going to happen, because that was something that never happens. And for Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, to say, oh man, I'm cool with Kid putting me over, that was a great moment that we all got to watch, and that really started to set up Raw as what we see today, the juggernaut that we see today. We have to talk about it too, man. We got to talk about that curtain call. He was leaving, and him and his buddies got in the ring. Heels and faces got together, hugged at MSG in the cage. People were like, man, what's going on? Oh no, this is horrible. They done ruined the business. The wrestling business is over. Nah, fam. The wrestling business is not over. The wrestling business is just about to get started good again, man. Then, watching Nitro, they having a match. He's like, okay, whatever. And you see the crowd starts to stop watching the match. And something going on. You look. Like, wait a minute. That's Razor Ramon. Oh my God, Razor Ramon is in WCW. He's on Nitro. He comes out, does his thing. And we still think it's Razor. Obviously, he's going by his real name, Scott Hall. But, oh my God, Razor Ramon is in WCW. And he ain't coming alone, man. We see Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, with his friend. Kevin Nash shows up. And now they are the outsiders. They are here to take over WCW. And they say, oh man, we got a third man for you. It ain't Mabel. We got a third man that's going to be coming. And when he comes, and y'all see him, y'all going to know we taking over. So the match is set at Bash at the Beach. You got Sting, Randy Savage, and Lex Luger versus the Outsiders and a mystery opponent. And that mystery opponent is going to show up whenever he's needed. So the match goes on, and we find out, wait a minute, Hulk Hogan was the third man. And that, my friends, was the start of the NWO. And the NWO absolutely changed the business. The wrestling business got so hot because of the NWO. I know everybody wants to give credit to the Attitude Era. And I hate that because when you say the Attitude Era, you basically talking about the WWF, WWE, but the real wrestling boom started with the NWO in 1996. Don't let these people fool you. Scott Hall was the guy that started this when he first came over, and then we got Kevin Nash. So they did that thing, man, in WCW, winning championships after championship, making all the money. The money keep going up. They getting paid. All the other wrestlers are getting paid better now because of those guys. So it's a win-win for everybody. Things happen with WCW management and all that stuff. Scott Hall has issues, but he still does his thing, man. He's still doing his thing. Got to talk about how he helped in Goldberg Street that taser. Something we're always going to remember. Also got to give him credit for coming up with great stuff, man. He was the person that came up with the Sting Crow gimmick. And we know what that did for Sting's career. So we have Scott Hall to thank for that. Things happen with WCW. He shows up in ECW. He comes out with the Ready or Not, Here I Come, You Can't Hide. Comes out with that song by the Fugees on the ECW show. Oh man, that was great. He was just so cool, man. He's wrestled in ECW. He's also had some matches in Japan as well. So you got a chance to check out his Japan matches as well. He wrestled all over the world, man. But then it was time to head on back to the WWE. Now they had bought WCW, and Vince McMahon wanted to bring in the NWO. So No Way Out, we got the NWO, and it was great, man. That initial pop, new guys coming out, seeing NWO again in a WWE ring was great. Overall, was that one of the greatest? No, but we did get to see Scott Hall go against Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. And I'm tell y'all something. Go back and watch that match. That stunner that Scott Hall took was on the level of a Rock stunner. How The Rock was the man when it comes to taking Stone Cold stunners. That stunner that Scott Hall took is right up there with any of the Rock's stunners. It's great. Like I said, things don't quite work out for him. He leaves WWE. He ended up going to TNA. Does a little bit of stuff there, and on and off for a few years. He ends up a little rough spot. He ends up going back to and finding an old friend in DDP. And DDP really helps Scott Hall, and really, I think, gave Scott Hall a second chance that he really needed. And it was a great thing to see Scott Hall just get better and better and better. Because we saw how down he was. DDP was able to help get him back to a great point, and it was a great thing to see. Got him back to such a great point. WWE actually inducted Scott Hall into the WWE Hall of Fame. He's actually been inducted twice. He is a two-time WWE Hall of Famer. And it was just great, man. I just want to leave y'all with this. Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do. Thank you, Scott Hall, for everything you've done in the wrestling business.